This Meditainment production is brought to you today by the Samurai Aquatics and Decor Metaventure. Scan that QR code or click that link in the description and dive yourself headfirst into the Samurai Aquatics Discord server to pleasure your peepers on our current and future range of outdoor decor.
The Whine and Cheese Show is a Metaverse and NFT discussion and interview series brought to you by Metaverse Ventures Entertainment and host BEN68 and Morecheese. Warning: the information and opinions within are solely the views of the individuals involved and contains content not suitable for anyone.
G'day and thanks for listening to or watching the Whine and Cheese and the Metaverses Show. I'm BEN68 here with my co-host Morecheese for episode 96, recording on Friday the 4th of August for Cheese, which is Saturday the 5th for me.
In today's episode, we went back in time and explored Upland's first updates and how it has progressed from then to now. We learned that we are extemporizers, word of the day, and went over some interesting articles. Thank you.
Yes, great. Scott, if my calculations are correct, Cheese, when this baby hits 68 miles per hour, we're going to see some serious shit. So get yourselves ready to go back to the future in the latest extemporizing episode of
The Worst Show Ever.
Whine and Cheese. Time for Whine and Cheese. Whine and Cheese. Time for Whine and Cheese. Cheese. One is a wanker, one's slinging stunts. One's from Australia, one's from the Bronx. Talking about the Metaverse and NFTs. Interviewing all the real crypto G's.
actually pretty good.
That's pretty good. Hello and welcome to Whine and Cheese and the Metaverses Show. I'm here eating toast with my Ben co-host.
I'll take it. With my bent co-host. Just put a T on it.
He's all bent out of shape. This is episode 96. And Magic Tricks. And we were just talking. We're coming up to our 2-year anniversary.
I believe so, yes.
That's
Can't
crazy.
be the 3 year. It'll be the start of our 3rd year. Yeah, September 12th we kicked off. So
that's pretty cool.
Gives us a month to try and organise something for the 2-year show. I'm sure we'll leave it to the last minute. We'll see how we go.
Yeah, we sure will.
Yes. All right. So surprising, there's a lot to talk about this week in Upland. It might seem like there's not a lot happening, but if you're engaged in the community, there's always something happening. Now, I believe you caught the tail end of the conversation in general this morning. Did you see how that all got kicked off?
Mm-mm.
So it's what did I write down? Yeah. So Sir Ness4, who's, we're all friends with, and he's involved in lots of stuff we got going on. He raised a point somewhere in general chat in Upland how it'd be really good if you could sell your metaventure, like because it's such a process to go through to apply for metaventures and get all your assets approved and all of that sort of stuff. If you have an established business in Upland and it's generating income and whatever, there should be a mechanic to be able to sell that business to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And then Uplando jumped in and said, well, actually, that's how this all originally started. There was business licenses. We were supposed to be able to buy and trade and sell businesses, but it wasn't until after us first 20 metaventure applicants had been approved, and I think it was almost a year later when we had our first official meeting. And then Upland turned around and said, actually, we're not going to do that anymore. Now introducing metaventures. There was no such thing as metaventures when we applied. It was business licenses is what you were applying for. So it was a thing. They moved away from that. So I can't imagine that's ever going to be a thing. Who knows?
Well, I know it was a year ago, though, but it was in an AMA where they said you can lease it for a certain amount of time. It's not they own it now, but they can just use it through you or something. But that just sounds really complicated.
Yeah, and that whole conversation kind of followed on from a different conversation that they were having about Did you know that if your MetaVenture, like if you don't pay your dues or you close your MetaVenture shop or whatever, you know it sits there saying this MetaVenture is closed because
Yeah.
of unpaid fees. That property's locked. If you are somebody who has a MetaVenture, you can no longer sell that property. That property is locked in perpetuity.
Right. So this is how I thought it would be, right? You don't pay your dues for like maybe a month, and then they take the MetaVenture away from you, and then you can do whatever you want with that property.
Nope.
They should do
One of
that.
this, they should do. One of the community managers was in the chat, involved in the chat, and was saying that no, there's currently no mechanism to do that. If your MetaVenture closes, that property is essentially locked. And I think it was Cerness asked, well, is that going to be changed? And it was like basically it was there's no, that's not a priority at the moment, is the gist of it. So be very careful where you place your MetaVenture, because most MetaVentures are placed on, especially if you're talking about factories and showrooms, they're placed on very valuable property. And it appears that at present, if you change your mind and you want to bail out of that, you're locked into that and you have no ability to sell or trade that property. It's stuck there. And it doesn't appear. But it doesn't appear that that's even on their radar as a priority to fix up.
I think, well, not a priority, but I do feel like it will get looked at.
Oh, it has to. That's just absolute madness.
Yeah.
How is it true ownership if you do something like that and it's just, sorry, computer says no? It's another one of those ones.
Here's the thing. When you buy a house and you buy land, you don't really own that land. You have to pay taxes on it, right?
Yep.
So it's like true ownership to a point. Like let's not pretend that whatever we buy in real life is completely owned by you when it comes to property. Like you own your house, right? But do you own your house?
But using that analogy, like I've run a business out of my residence before when I was in Japan. Imagine, and a lot of these people are buying up these prime locations for their MetaVentures on the secondary market for big dollars or big UPEX. So imagine in real life, you buy a house, location, right? So you spend up the money, you buy the location, you run your business out of there for several years, and you decide, you know what, my priorities changed or whatever, I'm closing my business, but then you can't sell the property. What? That would be crazy. That's crazy town talk.
Crazy town. So, no, it is. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I guess we just have to think of like what would we rather see more like. And I do wish at times we did see exactly what the list of priorities were and where things were and how close we were getting to certain things. That would make me and a lot of people happy.
Yeah, and especially now that more and more MetaVentures are getting pumped out there, there's people undoubtedly there's people that are applying for MetaVentures who don't really know what they're setting themselves up for. Yeah. So there's going to be, as more and more MetaVentures get approved, there's going to be more and more that become abandoned. There needs to be mechanics in place to decommission those and get them off the map. We don't need, well, what did we talk about before? The Upland map starting to look like a virus, different colored freaking dots spreading out all over the place.
Well, it'll be funny. I think they'll get to it when enough businesses go under, because even they said not every business is going to survive, which is just like the real world. When they start seeing dots there that have no use, they'll start to make it a priority, I'm sure, hopefully, or else they'll be like slum towns. There'll be a Skid Row, like, oh, this is the place of really broken businesses and whatnot.
Yes. So definitely there needs to be some priority placed on decommissioning MetaVentures. That just has to happen. That's just crazy if it doesn't. I guess it goes into the brand new, what do we call it now? The eventually box. It's not the soon box. It's the eventually box. All right. Now, I kind of put it out there to you that for this week, I'd like to go back to the future cheese roads where we're going. We don't need no stinking roads or something like that. You don't know any quotes from Back to the Future?
No. I
No
mean, I'm
incest
usually
jokes.
incest. Oh, Calvin Klein. I don't know. I remember the underwears. It was, yeah, I don't know. You caught me. You caught me off guard.
Yeah, so we're going to go back to the future. I thought it'd be fun to go right back. And last night when I was doing a bit of clickety clicking, kind of loosely getting prepared for this show, I thought, well, let's go and see what is the actual very earliest article that I can find about Upland. And I found this one here. I'll bring it up. So this was in June 13th, 2019.
Wow.
Take that heading away.
Monopoly style blockchain property trading game raises $2 million.
2 million now.
Wow.
Sorry.
Oh,
Yep.
Upland, a Monopoly-like property game built on the EOS blockchain, has raised $2 million in seed funding.
And isn't that crazy to think here we are now in 2023 and there is at least one person that has a net worth that's more than the seed funding.
I know. That is
Isn't that
crazy.
to think about? Yes, crazy. So yeah, this is back in June. What would you give to have been able to go back in time and read this headline and think, okay, oh, this looks good. I'm going to sign up for this.
Yeah, I would have loved that.
Yes.
Loved it.
Never mind. So yeah,
And
what does it actually say?
I like that get out of jail free card.
Yes, we should definitely have those. Well, you know what? I think I've used mine.
Yeah.
Because I did my shenanigans before there even was an Alcatraz or anything like that. So if you don't know anything about that, go and look at our YouTubes and search for the interview "Who is BEN68" or something where I dived right into it. So yes, yeah, I think I definitely used out mine. So nowadays, I'm a very good little boy. FinLab, EOS, VC Fund, and several angel investors have invested a combined $2 million in Upland, maker of a digital property trading game running on top of the EOS blockchain. The funds will be used to support the development and launch of Upland, which is currently available in beta. So it's saying in June that was available in beta. Holy moly.
Wow.
And will become widely available this year. So I believe I did click on that and it brings you to the just to the Upland homepage. So there must have been a thing there where you could sign up or something like that. So it says here, builders Monopoly meets blockchain, as in the classic Parker Brothers board game. The game enables players to buy, sell, and trade imaginary properties based on real-world addresses. The twist is that instead of paper cards, it uses non-fungible tokens or digital collectibles similar to crypto kitties to confer ownership of an asset. There you go. So even back in the day, they were saying NFTs, which I've said previously, I don't remember them talking about Upland as Metaverse NFTs until later in the game, but I stand corrected.
I mean, I
Right.
remember seeing it when I was going to work in Manhattan on a bus stop, right? And
Yeah.
I was like, what is that? Like, that's so weird. And I never found interest in it until COVID.
Yeah.
So I could have played earlier.
Yeah. It's maybe I did read that in the other things, but back then I had no clue what an NFT was, so it kind of just went straight over the top.
Same.
So it says, unlike most digital games, however, properties that are recorded on the blockchain throughout the game playing will be truly owned by the players. Well, actually, as we just talked about, not the gaming company. Upland Me says, and just like in real life, land in this virtual realm has a fixed supply. Yes, all right, because it's tied to real world addresses. And then there's a whole bunch of yada, yada, yada. So yeah, this is the famous story in quotes. This is Dirk Luth speaking, I believe. One game night while playing Monopoly and watching the Netflix series Stranger Things, we got thinking about a property game in a parallel universe and realized how properties that are based on real world addresses can be the perfect collectible NFT.
Do you think that's true?
Yeah, I think so.
You think he's a Monopoly player and he's watching Stranger Things?
Yeah, ooh, well, you're talking about, I don't know about Eden, but I believe Dirk would be older than me, or he'd be very close to me. I'm not exactly sure. That we're definitely in that same kind of generation. Do people have game nights? Yeah, I guess nerds have game nights. I don't.
I don't see
I
them
mean,
as a nerd though. I see them as like bros.
well, they're kind of tech nerds, aren't they? Haven't they were involved in a whole bunch of kind of tech-based startups together. So
All right.
maybe, you're shooting the shit, having a few drinks, Stranger Things playing in the background.
I don't see it, but okay.
Don't see it. Tinfoil hat. Right, so.
He was like, he went to his publicist and said, "Hey, can you write me up something really cool as to how I thought about it?"
That's funny. So it mentions, who the angel investors were, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, that's kind of cool to go back and see that way back when. Now, there's also a thing where nowadays Upland does run their articles through Medium, but it appears they have two Medium accounts. There's the OG account, and then there's this kind of new one. So if you're somebody who's gone on board recently, you might not be aware that there's a whole swathe of articles on a different kind of Medium account. Oh, it's going to reload. Are you kidding me? Oh, no. Yeah, here we go. So this was one of the first ones that came about. This is May.
Wow.
May
Mom, my
31st.
birthday.
Oh, is it? There you go.
The last day of May.
Introducing Upland. Now I'm just going to skip ahead and just click this one to see if it's going to reload too. Oh, really? I'm going to have to go back and scroll all those. You bastard. All right. Apologies. So yes, what is Upland? Getting started. Yeah, take that away. Read that.
Getting started. Our Founders Edition kicks off in sunny San Francisco, California. To prepare for the upcoming game, you'll be able to use the map interface to directly purchase from Upland's first release of properties. We want Upland to be accessible for absolutely everyone, except for those certain countries that can't purchase. Even your no-pointer friends. So we'll be accepting USD in the beginning to simplify the process. There are some rare and iconic properties included in the Founders Edition, which will become more important later when the game launches.
Yeah, some people might just blow their minds that, when I first got involved, there was just vast swathes of the map of San Francisco with rares, ultra rares, exclusives. All of these collections sat there for over a year in some cases. Like I worked on my financial district San Francisco set, the rare collection. Now I worked on that for well over a year, just slowly upgrading. I flipped a whole bunch of properties to get started on a base collection there and work my way up into a good collection. So yeah, back in the good old days. Yes. So, and then it goes into, how it is. Look how different the map looks back then too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, similar features still, but yeah, it's kind of funny. Market Street. Yeah, all of those were available. All of those exclusive collections were just sitting there unminted. Yep. And I would spend days and days and days scrolling with pen and paper to find an Upland property, that was under 1,000 UPX or something. It's crazy times. There was no property search tools. There was no community-based search tools. It was just all pen and paper.
Wow.
Then it goes into, oh, here we go. The ownership revolution is coming. And then it reiterates the foundation of the thing. Yeah. The link to this will be in the description if you want to check it out too. So now this is interesting. I don't believe we've yet seen this kicked off, although that was mentioned pretty heavily in the early days, if you wanted to read that one.
Upland will employ a franchise system as it expands around the world. Are you interested in taking over and operating a country, a state, a city, or rural area to run the Upland game? Please contact info at Upland me indicating which area you're interested in acquiring and your qualifications and motivation to undertake the task.
Yeah.
Is that like a node? Is that where you got your kind of like motivation from Midtown Terrace?
No, this is several layers above that. It was back in the day. I know in the Telegram, people were saying, hey, I'd love to open up in whatever it is, say it was London or something. And someone would from the team would say, well, submit an application at our franchise system, blah, blah, blah. It would appear, at least on the surface, that they may have moved away from this now, that they seem to be chasing more partnerships. So, we've got the FC Porto, so we release Porto, or, we do something in Brazil, so we got to release Brazil, or, it appears that we're kind of chasing that stuff. And we've seen, with Omniforce in Japan, like now Japan's going to be a thing. So it seems like they're heading more in that kind of direction where I guess they control more of the underlying mechanics or something. I'm not sure, but yeah. Yeah. It appears that this hasn't been on your radar, that whole franchise system. So I guess that speaks to how they've kind of moved away from it. As I said, at least on the surface.
I haven't seen anything like this.
Because I remember back in the day, I was thinking, shit, should I submit a proposal for the Gold Coast in Australia as a city? But, I can't imagine the funds that you'd have to need to set it all up or whatever. So, don't know. Wait and see.
And would that mean like you would share it in the purchase value? Like if you put in
you
like
would
a
think
lump
so.
sum? Wow.
Yeah, you would think so.
Yeah,
but then it gets greasy. Like obviously I'm from the Gold Coast. I guess Upland's famous for not doing this either. Like if you know somebody in the community who's from the area, you'd think you'd chat to them about where the best location spots would be. But then that gets greasy, insider information and all that sort of stuff. It gets super, super janky. So I would imagine if you're somebody who is going to take up a franchise system area, then you can't play the game anymore. You got to pick if you're on one side or the other. Because collections complicates things.
You could play the game, but you just can't own anything in that franchise area.
Yeah. Didn't I remember Loyal Doyle, there was something about him where he was involved in one of those official videos, and then he wasn't allowed to mint properties until 2 weeks after the collection reveal or something.
Yes, where you traveled with them or something, and you got to see the places of interest or yada yada.
Yeah, do you remember what that city was? It might have been LA, was it? I don't know.
Maybe.
I think it might have been. Yes. All right. So yeah, that's back in the day. And yeah, like I said, if you go to this, this appears to be the old Upland Medium account. You can scroll way back, which I did do this morning, but then it just reloaded, which is a pain in the Botox. So I thought it'd be fun while we're doing that. Do you remember the date when you officially joined or when you upgraded?
March 15th of 2021.
All right. Well, I've got the data here and I'll cheat and double check, see if you remember.
All right.
Actually, I just went past that. Look, there's the January 15th, was it? Business Better Program. So that was the original. This is what kicked off nodes and Midtown Terrorists and all of that. It was this article, Business Better Program. It was that one that kicked everything off. So
is there a way to see? Wait,
yes, there is.
How?
If you go, and I've got it right here. Look, I did my homework. Where are you, Ben? Morecheese. So if you go to upxland.me, users Morecheese.
Maybe I'm 2022 then. If the business started in 2021, then I have to be after that.
Now this says March 15th, 2021. However, that's when you upgraded to Uplander status. So if you I upgraded straight away.
I upgraded like maybe 3 or 4 days after.
Okay, so what did you say, March 13th or something?
Yeah.
That you thought? Yeah, so that would track. You were a visitor March 13th, you kind of played around, and then you upgraded to make your account official on March 15th. So yeah, that kind of tracks. I'm trying to keep scrolling. It's just such a pain in the ass that we did this. So yes, I joined. There we go. No, we're still in July 2019. We're nearly there. There we go. May 31st was the first Upland Me article on Medium for this account. So I joined, if you go to my data again, if you go to upxland.me, you can check users. You can check any user in the game, see when they started. Well, as I said, this will show the date when they became an Uplander, when their account became official. So mine was January 13th, 2020. And that would be the day, because I I believe I spent $5 straight away.
Golly.
So I thought,
That's
so
like-
what was in the news when I joined? January 13th. Let's scroll ahead. 2019.
Time went by really fast.
Yes. Oh, hang on. Maybe we'll go through this a bit slower. We'll get to my point because I didn't join that long after they started. So understanding digital assets and user identity in Upland. That's cool. A closer look at Upland's mass market approach to blockchain. Upland, what's coming up in 2019? Amazing.
A big ass duck.
Yeah. August, Upland August release introducing UPX and the marketplace. That's right. So when the game first released, and they mentioned that before, you could only buy properties with USD originally. And then UPX came in and you could buy that and things. So how to create an Upland account. Upland 101. What on earth are NFTs? Yep, that dropped before I started introducing the Upland collections. So collections didn't come in till late September 2019. Block Explorers didn't come in until October 2019. So let's go look at the old school map there with the Block Explorers. That looks funny as.
Look at the old art of Miles.
Yep.
Look at his
play
arm.
to own. Dislocated. An evolution model that's a win-win for gamers. Feature focus, Upland's roaming explorers, free-to-play model, and more. So there's a whole bunch of stuff to dive in there. Upland app now available on iOS. And this is what got me on. I listened to a podcast that talked about a blockchain-based, kind of Monopoly game available on iOS. And I was like, hell yeah, sign me up. So that's when I jumped in. So this is about January 11th. That's just before I started. And then here we've got Crypto In came in after me. So I jumped into the game between those. So Crypto In, I didn't even realize that Crypto In was a feature for quite a while. But once I did play around with that a fair bit. Any major purchases that I have made have all been with Crypto In. So that was cool. Anything else? A taste of mojito. Oh, that's right. Did you remember that back in the day, whenever they do like a kind of upgrade, they'd name it like a certain cocktail?
No,
like,
but
this is the mojito update, and this is the something or other.
That reminds me of all the the not the Apple updates, what the phone, the help me, Ben.
Android
updates.
Yeah.
They would name it after a candy or a cake.
Yeah, it's a similar thing that they were going off of, but they were going for the cocktails. So yes, what else happening? First call for boarding, announcing San Francisco Airport, February 15th. Yeah, so this airport sales dropped about a month after I joined, and I remember the prices on those are like $1 million UPEX or something, and I just couldn't fathom that somebody would spend $1,000 real money buying one property in this brand new game. So
is that how much the airports were back then?
I believe. Let me be risky and see if I can click on this and see how we go. But it was a kind of it was a free-for-all. It was like a city release, a mini city release. They would just open up. There was no registering and all that sort of stuff. It was just first in, best dress. And again, some of them would sit there, unminted, and you'd have to think about it, humming and hawing about it. So
if I knew about this before, I probably would have went crazy. Maybe it's good I didn't get in when I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Here's the article here. I don't know if it says prizes. Total of this mentions the tagged part with people always say, what are these airplane tags all over the map? So this goes back to this competition.
Oh.
I don't think it says there. Yeah, it doesn't say the price in there.
Wow.
I believe it was like 1.1 or 1.4, and it depended on the size of them, of course. Bigger ones were more expensive. So that's around the time I joined. And when did you say you joined? March 15th on your blockchain data, wasn't it?
Yeah.
15th, 2000. So let's fast forward to then. July, August. Where are we? Getting close. Halloween. The first Halloween in Upland was by far the best. They've never come close to being as good since. Maybe
Yeah,
this year they can blow it out of the water.
you told me about it, and then you showed me the videos, and it was so cool.
Yes, that's when I first got wind of the Nasty Hooks and, Stirs Merlin and all those guys. So here we go. March 9th, Upland Nights, that bloody tour. That was a good one. That was just before you joined. And then March 13th, the Upland Publish OX Writing Contest.
Oh, wow.
Don't remember that one.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is more. So you joined right before Manhattan.
Yeah, and I was able to get a lot of Manhattan. And I remember I didn't get it on March 15th. I may have gotten it towards the end of March or the early April. There was still so much.
Oh, yeah.
Oh gosh. I got my school, like, I was like, oh God, $450. Should I? And I was like, yeah, I have to do it.
Yeah, it's that initial release, like to race to Mint Wall Street and all that went quick, but then there was just property sitting there for ages and ages. So yes, Uplanders, tomorrow marks the start of our 3 waves of Manhattan collection reveals. So very cool.
But I remember across the street from the school were these small properties that I got for fairly cheap. And I remember selling them for like $300, $400. And it was so cool when that happened. It was Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's Kitchen, yes. Incredible to think that there was like literally thousands of Manhattan properties that could be minted. There was no such thing as FSA. So thousands of properties that could be minted for, around 2,000 UPX. I know there was FSA because I worked with FSA agents. Yeah.
Yeah.
I work with a bunch of FSA agents, and yeah, they were buying, but there was no holding period. So I would say, look, here's my budget. I've got 200,000 UPX, and we'd work out a deal, how much percentage they'd get, and they'd mint up, they'd mint up however many properties, and then I would buy them off them straight away. So yeah, there was FSA. That's right.
I know there was a limit to how much you were able to buy when I started, but then after a few days when I went to San Francisco, I was like, fuck it, and I put a few thousand in.
Yes, that's when you first got bit by the FOMO dragon.
Yes.
Yes, and the other big news at the time was the landmark auction of the Coit Tower. If you're Australian, the name Coit makes you giggle.
Coitus.
Yes. Now, I couldn't remember who minted this one, so I did a bit of clickety-clacking around. So this talks about it's going to load too. So this talks about the landmark auction, the very first one. And again, this is one of those things where you read this, okay, so it's a landmark property, whoop-de-doo. And, but then you see the price and you just can't believe the price on these things. So it turns out there was a guy called Fu Manchu, and I believe he paid like 23 million UPX for that one property. Wow. And how's this for a hodler? How's this for a hodler account?
Wow.
So talk about getting bit by the FOMO dragon. So he started playing. When did he start playing Upland? He started playing Upland on March 19th. So just after you.
Just after me. Yay.
Just after you. His net worth was, bugger all. Property net worth, 760. So not even a million UPX. And then he's pumped in, 25 million UPX worth. So 25 grand he's dropped to buy that one property. And then it's just been a few properties here and there since. He's still active. He's still buying properties. So.
Yeah.
Freaking crazy. Yeah? Crazy. So yeah, I thought that was very cool. Sorry, I'm not really putting you on blast there, Fu Manchu. I think that's awesome. Look at that. Look at that for diamond hands.
Oh.
I don't get more diamond than that. So yeah, I thought that was a bit of fun just to go back and have a look at what's been happening there. Is there any other dates or anything that stick out to you? Any other big events?
I would say getting into Midtown Terrace, like hearing your crazy ass 1 week after I joined, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? That was really cool.
Is this idiot ranting and raving? Yes.
I'm like, he must know something. He must be working with
Insider trading. Yeah.
I was like, let me get in on this.
Yes. Let me just close those links. Yeah, it was like as I said, there was no Discord. It was all on Telegram back in the day, and I played around with it as a bit of fun. When I was grinding away to upgrade collections and this, that, and the other thing. And again, it was about the community. Like, it was engaging with the Telegram community. And it was probably around the same time, well, before you joined in, of course, but it was around that whole COVID time where I was living in the backyard in a tent because I was an essential worker. I had to work through the whole of the first initial start of COVID, where we had no clue how bad it was going to get.
Wow.
All the schools were shut down, so my wife and the kids were in isolation at home, and I had to do all the shopping. I had to run all the errands. I was going to work every day, so I was living in a tent in the backyard. So I had a lot of free time on my hands, and that's when I kind of got more engaged in the community.
Yeah, I needed to know you back then. Jesus.
Yes. So
now there's no Ben time.
Yeah. Ain't that the goddamn truth? So yeah, it was fun. But yeah, I got bit on and off by the FOMO Dragon little nibbles. Yeah, it wasn't later until the Dumbo Brooklyn collections where I was like, righto, I'm actually going to take a serious chunk at this, and I put, quite a hefty chunk of crypto through to buy up some stuff.
And you got the Wall Streets.
Yeah, that was I really wish I had recorded that, but it was so chaotic. That was so much fun.
That was the first time you did your jumping thing, right?
Well, it was funny. It was because they'd released Manhattan in bubbles. Like I think we talked about this on the EDU podcast or something. Upland was really pushing to get San Francisco minted to 50%, and they were doing minting challenges after minting challenges, and we were just getting so burnt out minting all these goddamn properties. But yeah, if you placed, I think it was like the top 10 in the minting challenge, well, you got first access to these little bubbles, yada, yada, yada. And then however long it was, a bit later, they'd open it up to the whole community to open it. That it was only like a small area within the city. It didn't mint out straight away, but I minted properties strategically right at the very far border of what they were going to open up. I practiced for weeks. Sorry, go ahead.
If they did that now, there would be so much controversy. Like a contest to spend to see who gets to mint first.
Yeah, people, and I believe I read this last night before I went to bed, or it might have been on Twitter somewhere saying, "Oh, Upland's just a pay-to-win game." Yeah, duh. It's always been pay-to-win.
Yeah. Anything that has like investment in real estate and this and that. I mean, there are ways to get around it though, because do you have people like, Nubeggs and this Jack that don't really put any money into it?
Yep.
And
yeah, Green Turtle and the likes, famously. So yeah, so I'd minted that property that was right on the border before the full Manhattan release, and like I said, I practiced for weeks. I knew exactly, because Wall Street's going to be a collection. Everybody knows Wall Street's going to be a collection. It's just we don't know whether it's going to be rare, exclusive, or whatever. So I practiced for weeks. So I knew if I set my block explorer on a certain angle, it had to be a certain angle, that it would take X amount of time to get to Wall Street. So I knew if I send to my property and the block explorer starts moving off slightly this far, no, it's not good enough. So it was like, okay, Manhattan is released, go. And then everybody's setting their block explorers, or we'd set it previously, so we're on a good trajectory before the green light dropped.
You just see like two things going at the same time.
it wasn't two, it was like 10, 15. Yeah. And every now and then somebody would mint a property along that path, and then like it wasn't a lot. It was maybe 10 or 15 block explorers would jump to that property, and then they'd have to that was the thing too. You'd have to, if you jump to a property, if you did that, if you tried to reset your path too many times, you burn out your sends, you're screwed. You're done.
Yeah.
So I just stuck to the path. I knew I had a path. I just stuck to it. I didn't touch it. Now, the risk is that suddenly your block explorer veers off, but you got no control over that. So that was one tactic, was just stick to the plan, which I did. Other people's plan, which I think Green Turtle used this, and he was able to mint one of them at least. He waited until the very last minute. He just sat there waiting until one property on Wall Street was minted, and then he just jumped straight to that. So a lot of people got burnt along the way, kind of minting properties to try and hop. So that was actually the worst strategy, because you know, in a city that's not minted out, there's no chance to collect cents or whatever. So yeah. I managed to get into a position in Wall Street, and I minted 3 straight away, no dramas.
That's
and I was like,
crazy.
I was like jumping around the room, waking everybody up at 4 a.m. Yeah, so I did very well there. I wish it had been recorded, because it just looked cool. Because you couldn't hide block explorers back in those days. It was just a lot of fun. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But there's for every success story like that, there's plenty of butthurt stories where they tried to jump ahead and they got burnt and couldn't make it, or you click on a property but you thought you had it minted, but it's sitting there and it didn't mint through. Yeah, I went to the kind of coastal area of Wall Street and just minted 3 straight away. So, and then I famously flipped one of those very quickly, very cheaply, which is obviously a bit of a regret, but never mind. These things happen. Can't look back.
You still have the 2 though, right?
Yes, they are up for sale. If you want to drop 200K, they're yours.
Jesus.
That's USD, yeah. Yeah, I have flirted with the idea of selling them, but I guess it's one of those things where if I was to ever pull the famous "that's it, I'm done, I'm leaving," I would not sell those properties. I would sit there. Those would be the let's leave it for 5-10 years and see what happens kind of things.
You're not going to leave though.
No, I don't think I will either. But yeah, you know, those would be the very last things I'd give away cheaply. You know.
Yeah.
Although I have had plenty of offers through the years that have made me giggle.
Anything good?
Yeah.
Just cringy.
No, they're like, well, the mint price on those was only 190,000, and the floor price in Manhattan is this, so X times Y equals up your bum. Yeah, just freaking hilarious. Things that make you go, apparently you are a dickhead.
Well, I have my one in New Orleans that's pretty awesome. I think it's a ultra rare. I have no idea. It's the jazz thing. Is it a jazz thing? I really don't know. That's so weird.
The jazz venues, yeah.
Yes, jazz. So. They had the scary and then they had the jazz, right?
Yeah. Did you get one of them, or have you got the set?
I got one. I was able to get the set before, but like it was through a swap. But I think it's like a huge one. It's right on Bourbon Street. Yeah. 365 property size, and I have it for 22,000.
That's when you get that. When that happens, that's when the FOMO really gets to you. You haven't been tempted to buy another one on the market to complete the collection?
No, not really. I mean, I'm not willing to pay that much money for something. I mean, it's nice because it's such a big one. I would get so much divs, but
Is that the lowest price you'd sell it for then on the flip side? What if someone came to you? Yeah. So that's your baseline.
That's my base. It's all about the base.
It's all about the base. Yeah, I did something a little bit similar with the Skyline Manhattan collection. I remember I kept looking at it. It was unminted. I kept looking at it. That's the red rare collection. And one afternoon I FOMO'd into it, and I picked up 2. They were quite expensive, and extended myself to buy those maybe a little bit more than I should have. And then I realized afterwards, oh shit, you need 3 for the collection.
Oh.
And there was only a couple of them left or something like that. So that's when, I don't know if you remember, I had the first, at least public mortgage in Upland.
Really?
Yeah, so I knew I effed up, but I really wanted to, like, the whole reason I bought those properties was to get the collection boost on those rare collections in Manhattan. So I reached out to a few players who had, heaps of them. And one of them was EHO405, who's, long-term UDU member and that sort of thing. So we came to an agreement where, we settled on a price for one of the spares that he had, and then I was going to pay it off in so many installments over so many weeks, yada, yada, yada. But I actually had a whole bunch of sales come through and I paid it off almost straight away. So,
Wow.
But
Yeah, I
I-
remember that. That was,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. Wasn't that guy who runs that newspaper, like, didn't he have a lending program as well?
I think this is all well before that,
All right.
because this was just a private deal. And one of the reasons I went public is because it's, he's trusting me and I'm trusting him, but we kind of don't really know each other. So the kind of way around that is, make it all public. So if it all goes to shit, so yeah, that was kind of fun, but I paid it off straight away. So.
Loan sharks. I love it.
Loan sharks, yeah,
Do, 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 do.
back in the day. All right, now that's enough of a dive back into the future. Like I said, it is fun to go back and click through those, especially if you're a new person. I think it's worth going back and having a look how all of these things developed. Now, before we got kicked off, we did get pinged. There was some Upland announcement. I know this didn't really spark your interest too much, but apparently we have a stock car watch party coming up. Stock Car Velocitar Watch Party. Join us this weekend for the Stock Car Pro Series Velocitar races. We're hosting a stress test watch party for the races on Sunday, August 16th at 7:30 a.m. PT. Wow, that's like 1 a.m. It's like 1 a.m. or something my time. At the Rio de Janeiro Upland Cafe. Oh, this is cool. By attending, you'll be entered into a drawing where 10 lucky attendees will win 50,000 UPEX. That's decent.
That is decent.
It's better than the shitty 0.01 Sparks or the 5,000 UPEX they used to do for these sort of things. Good on you, Upland. That's nice to see.
All right, maybe I'll wake up.
Don't miss this opportunity to watch thrilling races and enjoy the company of your fellow Uplanders. Yeah. Oh, here we go. The cafes in Upland have received some recent updates. Hallelujah. And we'd like to invite all of you to participate in a stress test by attending our watch party. Your presence and feedback are crucial as we fine-tune the cafes for a better experience. While we are working diligently to iron out a few issues with iOS, we highly recommend joining the watch party from the web or Android version of Upland to ensure you have the best cafe experience.
That's cool.
Warning,
Alright.
this is a stress test, so please expect to be stressed.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's cool.
I'll
that's
test
good. They're
something for
fun.
the chance to get $50,
Yeah. Yeah, why not?
right?
I won't be getting at 1 a.m. to do it, but yeah, good on you. All right. That's all we got for Uplandy stuff. Oh, we're keeping you up. You had your toast, you should be perked up. You
I
had your coffee?
know. I had 2 coffees.
All right. Now we've got a few things to dive into. Last week I mentioned that the McLaren Formula One team was having their kind of NFT collectible sales, and I did go ahead and I bought one pack, and unfortunately it auto ripped, so there's no way to do a live pack break on air. But I pulled some very nice cards in that, and that kind of got me to FOMO into buying another pack, and then I got shit ones. So serves me right, $20, but that's not too bad. So just gonna have a quick look at those. Oh my gosh, you sleepy thing. Oh, this is all going to reload too. Remind me to reload those other ones while we're gas bagging. Oh, and it's going to say no items to show. Oh, no, here we go. So these are the ones I've all collected for free. Yada, yada, yada. We know all that.
Was there anyone to collect today?
No, they're on their summer break, so they're off for a month.
That's good.
So I got this one. I think that was the one I got in my wallet for free, and I believe this is a rare one. The orange one's a rare. So that's 1998 Japanese Grand Prix McLaren moment. And then the first pack I broke, I got this card, which is just a regular 1968. There you go, 68. Spanish GP. So I was pretty happy with that one. And I got where is it? The Japanese Grand Prix. Oh no, it was that one. I got these two. I got these two rares. I got the Ayrton Senna Brazilian 1991 moment and the Japanese Grand Prix.
Nice. I was gonna
What
say
was the
that
Lewis
Japanese
Hamilton?
one.
It's this blue one I got for free. The Lewis Hamilton one. So yeah, I pulled two rares and a common. So that's what got me to FOMO into the second pack. And then I got the same exact card. So I was like, wah, wah, wah. And then I got two more commons. One of them's an Australian GP one. So I guess that's kind of cool.
I like that Monaco one. It's like so old fashioned and stuff.
That one, the monochrome. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that card.
Yeah. So I don't know what I'm going to do with them, whatever, but I thought that was kind of cool. So yes, they are. If you are somebody who has been following along, collect them. There is, like I said, a 1 month summer break, but I'll ping you when it's I'll ping everybody in the new MVA server. Now that we're all under one roof.
Yes, move over. It's time.
Yes, we did have some teething problems yesterday where there is a process where you jump on over and you have to click the rule icon and then you get access to the server. That was glitched out a bit. So Moon Unit and I are kind of trying to work together on that. Thank you, Moon, for all the time, effort you're putting into that. If that happens again, I'll just manually roll people and give them access. So yeah, dive on in. We got a Smack D-Tech too. He hasn't set up his space. So I'm like, ping, ping, bump. I know. How's that video he put last night of him dancing around, putting his tiles on his bathroom? I was cracking up laughing.
That made my day. It's like, oh my God.
Yes. If you have seen how D-Tech has fun with the wider community in public, I'm sure you can only begin to imagine how much fun he has with us in private. So he's very, very entertaining. I showed Maya heard the music playing and heard me laugh my ass off. She said, "What the hell are you watching?" And I showed her, and she's like, "Who's that?" I was like, "That's D-Tech." And then she got it, and she's like cracking up laughing too. So, yeah.
Does it seem like she's slowly kind of getting more and more interested?
Not at all.
Oh, I was able to get Sully a bit more interested because like we're both very social. So like the more people I introduce him to and like he talks to and they all like him, he's such a good guy, the more interested he gets. So I kind of like put it in that kind of.
Yeah. I mean, I think she definitely understands the whole thing more. Like she understands now that I've started to pay bills with, the stuff. She kind of understands it all and why I put so much time and effort into it. And, she gets that I have fun doing these shows and whatnot. So she gets that side of things. But, yeah, no, it's not something that interests her in the slightest. So, although she is a bit of a ChatGPT fiend now. So that's kind of cool. Maybe I can work it in via that angle.
Yeah. You got to find an angle of association.
Yes, it's just it. I keep banging on about how good ChatGPT is, but it's just crazy. And it is kind of a bit antiquated or whatever the word is, like outdated, where it only updates up to 2022 or 2023, unless you go for the paid version. But she can put in. I'm in Australia. I have a $200 budget. Give me some ideas for menu plans and for a family of 5, and I'll spit it out. And she can say, okay, for option number 2, what are the ingredients on that? Or, recipes. It's just crazy what it can do.
Sully would love that because he's the chef in the house. So,
yeah. And you could even say, like, if, I don't know, what's your grocery store in America? Where do you shop at?
Nowadays, Walmart.
For your groceries. So you could say, okay, give me these ingredients and prices from Walmart. The prices will be, like I said, a bit janky because it's old data, but it'll give you the gist of the idea. Or you could say, because I know you don't eat meat, right? So you could say, what are some alternatives to replace ingredient X? Or maybe like me, I don't like eating raw tomatoes. So it's crazy what ChatGPT can do. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
I love raw tomatoes, but they don't love meat. Tomatoes.
Too acidic.
Yeah.
Tomato, tomato. All right. Now you got these next couple articles. We're just gonna race through them quick. What do we got up first? I think you were just headline ripping, weren't you?
Yeah.
You didn't do any sneaky cheating this week?
Mm.
All right. So what do we got first, Cheese? What's this?
Metaverse project Futureverse. Futureverses co-founders start 50 million venture fund. Now, I don't know if we talked about this already.
We did a little bit, yeah. But I think it's a good. Sorry, finish your thought.
Oh no, I just figured like this is an update for it.
Yeah, so this is a good throwback to that very first Upland article. Upland gets seeded with $2 million. This joint's getting seeded with 50 million.
Yeah.
But that was Upland started way back in the day where Metaverse, NFTs, they were not buzzwords at the time. They weren't established, things that was very much undergroundish. So
yeah,
it's all a different ball game these days. So yeah, it says the Born Ready Venture Studio will invest in early stage Web3 and Metaverse projects. Yeah, I think we touched on it a little bit. This 2 weeks after announcing a new funding round, Metaverse startup Futureverse co-founders Sarah Oldmate and Aaron, I saw McDonald and got excited, have started a $50 million ventures fund and studio titled Born Ready.
Born Ready, yeah.
Futureverse was formed in late 2022 through the merger of 8 companies, and
Wow.
3 more have since been absorbed into the operation. Wow.
Absorbed or taken over?
Taken over, yes.
Wow.
The startup's most notable projects are Fluff World. What?
I hate it already.
What the? These names, and I said this in last week's show, these names are so trash. Fluff World. An NFT collection feeding cartoon rabbits and the mobile soccer game AI League.
I'll never buy another rabbit NFT again.
Whoa. This is what we got excited about. Remember when we talked about it? Was their association with Ripple, XRP. That's what we kind of dug into. Yes, interesting. Born Ready, blah blah blah. Yeah, so that's interesting. I think that's a good throwback to see how far we've come since 2019 to 2023.
True.
Metaverse.
But like, what
startups.
are they? Like, did they say is it a metaverse?
Yeah, well, it says it's the Futureverse is going to be a metaverse project. Doesn't really just talks about the mechanics of the market. Born Ready, which is the company associated with it, will announce an accelerator program with funding opportunities at a later date. So it seems like they're very early in just the funding process. I mean, if they're getting that sort of cash in and they're acquiring all these companies, it must be a serious thing. Either that or it's a massive rug pull. Wait and see. All right, let's blitz out of that and see what's next. Oh, here we go. Look, accelerator program. Now we're going to move this.
I'm in there. It kind of looks like Shibaverse.
I can't get out of that thing. Close that. There it is. Shibaverse. You still holding your Shiba bag?
Mm-hmm. Remember when we wait, get out of this for a bit.
Yep.
Remember when we looked at Shibaverse and there was a whole bunch of like there's a path and there was mushrooms everywhere and trees.
Yep.
Doesn't this look just like it?
It does, yeah. Futureverse, yeah. Oh, you clicked on Futureverse, yeah. Revolutionary AI and metaverse technologies that enable open, scalable, and interoperable apps, games, and experiences. Okay.
We got scores.
Future Score quests are a series of interactive challenges designed to help engage and grow our community. Quests offer root rewards. We've been down that rabbit hole before, haven't we? I'm gonna get a root reward. Yes.
Calm down.
Teenagers will be FOMOing into that.
I'll have to look into it more and see.
It's not going to be play to earn. It's going to be play to root.
Yeah.
P2R. All right, let's move on before we get cancelled. Apple plays nice with others for an open USD metaverse.
Now,
What the
this is
hell does that mean?
interesting because Apple usually is their own thing. And look at these names: Apple, Adobe, Pixar, Autodesk, NVIDIA, and the Joint Development Foundation have joined forces to promote and develop a standard to empower mixed and virtual reality experiences.
Interesting. So yeah, it says meta matters less. So this appears to be like the Species IO thing where some of these big companies are working together to make a standard for different, assets to cross things. And here they're trying to make a standard for the actual,
Yeah.
AR, VR experiences across. That's could be huge. Especially, names like Pixar. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see.
All right. Well, remember that whole thing? I said I think Apple's going to be coming out with something major here. I think they've been quietly working away on the back end. Like we've touched on many of the patents and remember the lot of acquisitions they were doing as far as different jobs.
Well, yeah, but I didn't think they would be teaming with anybody because they're usually like lone wolves.
Yeah, that's huge. All right, let's see what it says. That's basically what you just said. Opening up the 3D universe. The companies formed the, here we go, Alliance for Open USD, AOUSD. What does the USD stand for? Universal Scene Description. Okay. They plan to share more information about their plan. What a stupid thing to say. They plan to share more information about their
Redundant
plans.
much?
We are making an announcement that in a few days we're going to have an announcement. That's like back to the old crypto days. Wow, an announcement of an announcement. Yeah, so they're looking to promote the standardization, development, evolution, and growth of Pixar's USD tech. That's cool. The idea behind the group is to standardize the creation of 3D creativity with I can never say that word. Say that word for me.
Interoperable.
Thank you. Tools and data. That's significant as it means the moats between creative assets in the 3D space will be bridged and experiences made available across multiple channels. Hallelujah. That's what we want. Good. It also means creatives will be able to build 3D projects, products, and services to work across all compatible systems.
Wow.
Standardizing OpenUSD will accelerate its adoption, creating a foundational technology that will help today's 2D internet evolve into a 3D web.
Wow.
Awesome, awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. Now, let's hope this is not going to be heavily gatekept by the established big names. Let's hope there's going to be a heavy dose of UGC. I think it will, because after all, Apple makes just a shit ton of money off, independent game developers and this, that, and the other thing. So
I still feel like Upland is the only platform I have seen personally, other than Second Life, that allows the community to build as much as they do.
Yeah, that truly embraces UGC. Although we're still waiting for the announcement about royalties and all that. So it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but yes, eventually. So what is OpenUSD? Take it away.
OpenUSD was originally created in 2012 by Pixar Animation Studios, as a 3D foundation for its feature films and made open source 4 years later. Subsequently, Apple at WWDC 2018 announced work with Pixar to develop USDZ Universal, a file format used to create 3D models for augmented reality.
Look at the date on that, 2018.
USDZ Universal, a file format. Now, I wonder, is this 3D models for augmented reality, is this similar to asset like outdoor decor creation through Blender?
You would think so, yeah. That's just a different,
way to do
mechanic.
It. All right. I wonder if that's what they use.
But isn't that interesting? That far back as 2018. Yeah. As far back as 2018, Apple was involved in this at least the beginnings of this, and they've just been quietly working away.
I wonder if this is what they use for Second Life to create assets.
Maybe.
We really have to get someone like Lily or even AA, because he was extremely huge in Second Life, he was telling me.
Yes.
Yeah, at that time, Lewis, whoa, Junk here, sorry if I mispronounced it, Chief Product Officer of Showpad, told me AR is starting to become more mainstream for both consumers and enterprise applications, but still doesn't have a file format that people agree on. I'm imagining the guy sounds like this. If a critical mass of people adopt a single file format, such as USDZ, we could see augmented reality applications become even more relevant.
Augmented reality is starting to become more mainstream. This was said in 2018. Wow.
I know.
Right. That format now seems to have arrived. In truth, the high-performance 3D scene description tech is already widely used in 3D content production and delivery. The AOUSD site also observes the standard is being used across enterprises, including the architecture, engineering, construction, and manufacturing industries. Cool. What happens next, Cheese?
I don't know. I'm looking in to see what USDC OpenUSD is. Take it away, Ben.
You look at that and I'll say, what happens next? The Alliance now plans to develop and standardize the specification to help boost its use. It helps that once OpenUSD does become standardized, other standard bodies will be able to include it within their specifications. Nice. Kronos Group Vice President Neil Trevet has already confirmed interest in ensuring that his company's standards such as GitF can support and synergize with AOUSD, Unity, Epic, Foundry, Side Effects, and other big industry names have also offered up statements of support. Wow, Unity and Epic. That's huge.
Yeah.
The one missing element to all of this, of course, Meta, implying a tough struggle ahead for the corporation, which is apparently bet its future on AR. Wow. So we have a war at play here where Meta's trying to go it alone and Apple is just rallying soldiers.
Which is smart. Which is really freaking smart on Apple's side, because you really can't get into something like this alone. You really can't.
Yeah, this goes back to like what you know is my core philosophy. Don't put your shit out there unless you've got actually something to back it up.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. What did you find? Have you got something else to?
It's basically like a foundation of C++ and Python. I guess it's more code written and whatnot. Like but yeah, it seems very interesting. I wouldn't mind looking into it more offline.
Yes, all right. So what they said, cherry picking through the boilerplate statements that accompanied the announcement, we learned more concerning the motivations of the partnership. Universal Scene Description was invented at Pixar and is the technological foundation of our state-of-the-art animation pipeline, said CTO of Pixar. OpenUSD is based on years of research and application in Pixar filmmaking. We open sourced the project in 2016, and the influence of OpenUSD now expands beyond film, visual effects, and animation into other industries that increasingly rely on 3D data for media interchange. That's cool. With the announcement of AOUSD, we signal the exciting next step, the continued evolution of OpenUSD as a technology and its position as an international standard.
Wow.
Here we go. Take that away. This one.
Whether you're building CG worlds or digital twins or looking ahead to the 3D web, content creators need a cohesive way to collaborate and share data across tools, services, and platforms, said Gordon Bradley, fellow for media and entertainment at Autodesk.
Yes. All right. So what did Apple say? Of course, to some extent, Apple's interest in 3D assets and augmented mixed reality is now widely known. It sees this as part of a future for computing, and it has begun to extemporize. What does that mean? Extemporize within the Apple Vision series, like emphasize. It's like a fancy way to say emphasize, maybe. Mick Rockwell, Apple's vice president of the Vision Products Group, explained OpenUSD will help accelerate the next generation of AR experiences from artistic creation to content delivery and produce an ever-widening array of spatial computing applications. Apple has been an active contributor to the development of USD, and it is an essential technology for the groundbreaking Vision OS platform, as well as the new Reality Composer Pro development tool. We look forward to fostering its growth into a broadly adopted standard. Yeah, this is huge. Nice fine cheese.
I posted the definition of extemporize.
What is it?
It's a verb, compose, perform, or produce something such as music or a speech without preparation, improvise. He extemporized at the piano.
That's our whole show.
Yeah.
We've been extemporizing.
We have been extemporizing.
We're extemporizers, cheese.
Oh my God, I have to put that in the intro.
You'll have to put that in your resume. I'm an extemporizer. So we're not gas baggers anymore or just fly by your pants shit talkers. We're extemporizers.
Extemporizers.
We'll have to reach out to some of our friends and let them know that they are also extemporizers. I'm sure they'll be very excited. Maybe we should start our node. Extemporizers United.
And then Upland will start using it.
Yes, yes, yes. Not bitter. All right, moving on. Now, you did mention Shib Metaverse, and we got another Shib article here. Shib Metaverse. Go time in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Marcy Gastro says.
That's total recall time for how long you're going to stay on Mars.
Well, this dropped on February the 8th. So
no,
this must be
you're reading it wrong. You got to read it in American terms.
Yes, yes, yes. Apologies. 2nd of August. Bloody Yankees and your refusal to adopt to international standards.
Oh, that made my day.
What do we got here? Shiba Inu's Metaverse advisor, Marcy Gastro, announced in a tweet today that she will be speaking at the Blockchain Futurist conference that will take place in Toronto, Canada on August the 15th to 16th. She emphasized that the SHIB community is now just 2 weeks away from presenting the SHIB Metaverse to the world. It's go time, she added. She didn't drop the LFG. That's good. No red flags on that, so that's nice.
No licking fruity goat.
Dak,
I love it. I just have to say it every single time. You don't like it, do you?
I'll lick a boot. I won't lick a fruity gonad. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Whatever floats your boat. So tweet from at Marcy Gastro is, thank you at Futurist Conference for changing that to MV Shib. We don't need any more confusion. We are now just 2 weeks away to show the world Summer of Shibarium, Shib the Metaverse hashtag. Oh no, look at that cheese. There is an LFG hashtag.
Licking fruity goat.
Oh,
Dak, get over here.
Come on, Marcy. Come on, Marcy.
Gosh.
Marcy. And show the world it's go time. All right. Well, that's exciting. I am a SHIB bag holder. Yes.
Yeah.
So, cool. There we go. Gastro will not be the only top SHIB team member to speak at the conference. Along with her will be lead developer Shaitoshi Kusama. However, he will deliver a speech without being actually present, but by using an AI-based app to mask his identity. Ooh, I wonder which AI-based app he will be using. He promised that all major SHIB-related projects and the coin's partners will be presented at the conference, and odds are that the much-anticipated Layer 2 blockchain Shibarium will also be finally launched at the mainnet. Isn't that a bit red flaggy, though, if you have a project manager? Remember we went through that whole thing where they're using their web-based pseudonyms or that? Like, if you're going to run a project, you got to be willing to put your face out there. You got to be willing to put your LinkedIn searchable details out there for the do your own research crowd. I mean, he's got his name there. Mask his identity. That just seems, I can't escape that there's a bit of grease there, unless it's to showcase the tech.
Something happened.
Showcase the tech.
Something happened.
What happened?
I just went to I just went to open up Shibaverse from the Twitter, and
Yeah.
I'm getting this security message saying that I
Back away,
know
back
I can't.
away.
There's no way for me to do so.
Abort. What was on this tweet? You got that?
Hold on.
Oh no, Cheese. Oh no. Abort.
I can't. I may have to restart.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, while you're scrambling that, I'll keep running through the article and we'll see if we get booted out and reboot. Shib reveals video previews of Metaverse hubs. That sounds familiar. Earlier this year, as covered by you today, the Shib team presented a video alpha preview of the Wagmai Temple Metaverse Hub, which we covered back in the day. The Metaverse is being created by the Shiba Inu team and the Third Floor Studio. The flyover of the temple showed a quiet space on the bank of a mountain river with Japanese-style bridges, alcoves, and pagodas, rocks, and a pretty waterfall. This hub, when the Metaverse is launched, is meant to provide users with an experience similar to meditation in Eastern temples.
I think I fixed
Team
it.
also promised
Sorry.
to reveal a flyover of another hub soon, Rocket Pond. Overall, according to market specialist Lucy, before September of this year, 4 hubs will be revealed. Wagmai, Rocket Pond, Roshi, and the Tech Trench. She reminded the community that the Metaverse will be released on PC, smartphones, and in virtual reality apps. All right, I'm interested. I'm officially interested.
Ooh, that was scary.
I can imagine. Don't go clicking random links. You'll get your ass burnt every single time.
It was their Twitter.
Yeah, you would think it would be fine.
Exactly.
Shib the Metaverse. We had a lovely at Marcy Gastro lead from Shib the Metaverse in Spaces yesterday who answered a few questions, and then it just reiterates what hub's going to be released. Okay, this is cool, and especially that's going to be on mobile. All right, sign me up. I'm in.
You're in?
I'm just not going to click on any links.
Apparently, I know it was that org thing.
Ooh.
If you go to Shiba Universe at Shiba Universe,
yeah,
and then there's a link shibauniverse.org.
Yeah,
that's what I clicked.
Wow. All right. Well, I'm not going to go clickety clack in that one. I will wait. I'm sure we'll cover it in upcoming weeks. If they're going to release on mobile, that'll be part of a bigger press release, and I'll jump in through there. All right, 2 more to go. Now, what the hell's this about, Cheese? Elvis.
Elvis, yeah, it was
Elvis?
Cute.
What the hell?
Elvis Presley dances into the metaverse via the Sandbox. Some 3,000 Elvis Presley NFT avatars will launch in the Ethereum game that's home to Snoop Dogg, McDonald's, and many more.
Look at him name dropping.
Yeah.
The Elvis collection.
They don't even look like Elvis.
Not even the slightest. This looks like some douchebag tourist.
Yeah.
Like on a cruise ship or something. Hey, baby, where are you from?
The one on the left looks like Wolverine.
He does a bit, yep. He looks like he's lost his motorbike and he's just reenacting the glory days.
He's on his make-believe horse like in the Barbie movie.
Yeah, so they're very voxel, aren't they? They have that whole style.
Yeah.
All right, what does it say here? Ethereum-based game The Sandbox has confirmed a release date for a series of officially licensed Elvis Presley NFT avatars designed to celebrate the late musician's long-standing legacy. First announced last year by the Elvis Presley Legacy Council, which is introducing the music icon into various online and blockchain-based platforms. Each of the 3,000 avatars will feature familiar outfits and hairstyles from across Presley's historic career, alongside a series of unique emotes inspired by his signature dance moves. Oh, there's got to be, I wonder how many of them are going to be the larger-than-life Elvises.
Large, oh, Well,
Remember
they
when he
have
was in
to.
that? He was
Yeah.
like all drugged up and he was doing karate moves in his suit and all that sort of stuff. That's some of those videos are fucking hilarious. Google Elvis doing karate. You'll laugh your ass off.
Oh my God.
The NFT-based avatars, which are minted on Ethereum scaling network Polygon, will be fully playable in all future Sandbox multiplayer experiences and will also unlock upcoming features and content in the Metaverse space. Okay. All right. Doesn't interest me, but I'm sure if you're like this guy's doing the bloody Macarena or something. No, he's doing what's that other one? Gundam style.
What?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, like
the actual.
as an artist, I'm gonna have to say this this is a fail because like they don't even look like Elvis. And how do you make this and then say I could just imagine the guy was like, whoever created this, guy, gal, was like, this is as good as I'm gonna get. Yeah, just run it.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, there's not much resemblance there. Not much resemblance at all. So I think this is probably going to be a project for your hardcore speculators.
Yeah, we'll let Snoop Dogg and McDonald's buy these.
Yes, the public sale is set to begin August 9th following an exclusive 24-hour purchase window for owners of the Sandbox NFTs-based land and for certain avatar collections, as well as those who registered for an allow list. So it's kind of seems like the Sandbox has a bit of a waitlist kind of program, which most major NFT platforms have. So that's fair enough. All Elvis avatars will then be revealed on August 11th. The avatars will be split across 4 rarity levels, and each one will cost 100 sand, which is worth about $41 as of this running. So it's not terrible.
It's not terrible if it actually looked like him.
Yes, but then isn't it again? I think this speaks to one of the main benefits of Upland is, you buy this for $41, it's 100 sand, but who knows what's going to happen with that crypto? It's, your future is so out of your hands and tied to wider market implications. So is Upland in a sense, but not in such a direct way as that. So, yeah, I'm with you. I think this is a fail, at least on the art front. Maybe the dance moves are epic and you look at it and you think, oh, yeah, that's classic Elvis. I don't know, but judging by those pictures, I would not get my hopes up.
No.
So have to wait and see. I just love how they got to name drop that there too.
I know, but it's like without the community, those names mean nothing.
Maybe in the future we'll have, Upland heading, and in the subheading it'll say, that's home to BEN68 and Morecheese from the Whine and Cheese and the Metaverses Show.
We're nobody.
Did you see my sarcastic comment to the person who said, why is this video only got 10 views? And I was like, wow, yeah. 10 views? That's awesome. We only usually get 3.
And they were commenting on a snippet, not the actual video. But thank you for watching our stuff.
It's so funny. In case you don't know, we don't give a fuck about views. We do the exact same show, whether we had 5 views or 5 million, So, pretty funny. All right, last one. You've stuck with us this long. Good in you. Take it away, Cheezels.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
We're even boring the hosts.
No, I don't know. Some days I just yawn a lot. I can't explain it. I'm not even tired. Ukraine's Game for Ukraine soccer match utilizes the metaverse for fundraising. Now, this is cool. This is smart. So I'm hoping a lot of other, things come about from this. Like, you hear about people from other countries, like poor countries, are getting into Upland and making some decent money, right? So I'm hoping that the metaverse can, going into the future, start giving opportunity for people in like bad places and so on. So let's see what this is about.
All right, let me scroll it down. So besides the real world event, Game for Ukraine, a charity soccer match announced by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, will also be played at a virtual stadium for the Metaverse visitors, featuring exclusive perks.
Wow.
The celebrity match will take place on August 5th, which is today or tomorrow, your time, isn't it?
Tomorrow.
So it'll probably be very soon. This match will be like your Panini sticker album coming to life, said the website, referring to the first company to release a collectible football sticker in the 1960s. That's
Panini?
cool.
Now I want a panini. Because to me,
Panini?
that's a sandwich. A panini.
Don't know.
I don't know. Go on.
Panini. Seems like something a 2-year-old would call another 2-year-old trying to make a derogatory term. Stop it, you
Panini.
panini.
You never seen a panini? They're delicious.
Oh, you froze up on me.
Uh-oh.
There we go. The match will be screened in the UK, broadcast worldwide, and there will be an official Metaverse watch party produced by Metaverse Technology Entertainment. Technology startup interoperable and content provider global fan network. Interesting. All right. Can't make it to Stamford Bridge. Well, don't worry. We've got something for you. We're bringing the stadium, the roar of the crowd, and even some of the players in a groundbreaking Metaverse show. Join us at victoryleague.io. I think this is cool.
Yeah.
Again, it's not something that I would be kind of interested in taking part in, but it's the underlying tech and what it kind of hints at for the future that kind of tickles my bits.
Oh my God.
Yes, only Chrome on a laptop or PC is needed to join. The experience is free and it's on a first come, first served basis. So they must have like a set limits. I think, what do we say? The Upland cafes have a 50 max limit at present.
At present, but
yeah.
they made some changes and there's going to be a thingy tomorrow.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think anything that can allow people who can't physically go to the location, whether it be concerts and sporting events and that sort of stuff is the prime, the most obvious example of the need for this tech or the use case for this tech. But yeah, if you can't physically go to the venue, to be able to still have some kind of personal experience, you have fan meet and greets. We've said all this before, signed autographs, merch, all of that, redeemables, PO-apps. It's all got to tie in, doesn't it? So, I don't know. I think it's cool.
I think it's cool.
Nice fun.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, that's all I've got for that. Is there anything in particular you wanted to touch on?
Well, I just want to show you a panini real quick.
A panini? So what, it is a sandwich for real life?
Yeah, it's a panini. It's a panini press, right? So you put any sandwich you want in there and then you do it and it comes out like a panini.
And perhaps Panini is a Italian city or something, is it? Maybe that's where the first stickers were released, in that city or something. All right.
Yeah, maybe it's like a panini style.
Might be, yeah. All right. One last thing to touch on, as I mentioned a bit earlier on, yes, the MBA site is up and running. We have almost completed the merger from U2U. This weekend, which is now, so probably within the next 48 hours, the U2U server as we know it will be closed. There'll only be one channel there that's available. Like if you're a U2U member and you haven't seen all of that, you're going to jump over to the U2U server. You're going to see just a We Have Moved channel, and I'll have a link to the MBA server. I started the similar process in MVE yesterday. Apologies to Joe. Apparently he'd posted a video and then not soon after I'd zoinked his channel into storage. But that will be a very similar process there. More of those channels will start to disappear and everything's eventually going to be over on MBA. So yes, if you are involved in the U2U or if you're in the MBE server and you want to keep up with stuff, you've got to get yourself to the MBA. And there is a competition going in the contest channel of the MBA. One of the benefits of having us all in-house is that we can run many more contests where more people can get involved. We can give away more stuff. We can have a bit more fun, more eyeballs, all in the one spot. So that shall be good. Once the MVE merger, I'm confusing myself with my own acronyms. Once the MVE merger is completed, it'll be a similar process. There'll be one channel left up there. It'll be a redirection to MBA. And then we'll work on doing similar for Samurai Critics and Decor. Now, we haven't really discussed internally how we We have so many management channels in Samurai Aquatics and Decor. I guess Samurai Aquatics and Decor will be stripped down to just that base redirection channel. And then I guess we're going to have, do we want to merge all of that messy management stuff into the NBA? No, we'll rename it something else.
It'll be just for us.
Yeah. I think that's better. Yeah.
And I do have something real quick to say.
Ooh.
Somebody made the joke that like nobody has moved more Discord servers than we did. And I have a great retort to that, which is if you're not evolving and adapting, then you're not, what are you doing? What we're doing is we're trying to make things as convenient and easy and clean as we can for our community. So instead of having 3, if we can figure out, which we did, a really great way to bring it all into one, that's 2 less Discords for you to have on your thing. So yes, we are always evolving and adapting, and we won't stop.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if it is broke, fix it.
If it ain't broke, but you can think of a better way to do it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Well, when the UDU started, there was no such thing as MBE. We weren't really doing shows.
Yes.
But then we started to do other shows. But then when the UDU and MBE were up and running, we didn't really have the Metaventures. But now all 3 of us have Metaventures. So, it's, what is it? Evolution, baby.
Evolution, baby. And
adapt or die.
MVA is going to be for Ben, D-Tech, and myself.
Yeah, I think it. Well, at least I hope this is the very last time because I certainly don't. It's annoying for people to have to click a button and move to a different Discord. Imagine how fucking annoying it is to set it all up again.
Yeah, it took us months just to figure it out, put all the bots, make it look clean, make it look clear.
Yeah, and it is very stripped down and stuff at the moment, but it will be fleshed out eventually. Like I said, I'll have to smack D-Tech because he hasn't filled out his, but we'll just have a quick look at it in case you're curious and you haven't jumped over yet and you're thinking, oh, not another bloody Discord server. Well, like Cheese said, what are you getting? You're getting 5 Discord servers for the price of 1. So when you land, you'll land in this rules channel. It's pretty basic stuff here. You have to click this little thing. It's not supposed to be a tally. When you click this, it's supposed to just automatically give you the member role. Yeah. And then most of the channels will open up. It was glitched out the other night where it was tallying up. It was going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I had to manually assign those. So it is a bit of a janky process. Don't worry, if you don't get immediate access, it will be fixed up. It's just, there's only so many hours in the day that we can look at these things. So yeah, there's an area for MBA.
Yeah, the thing I like about this is if you don't want to look at any particular thing, exactly.
Shut it down.
Shut it down.
Yeah, so the contest, there is one, like I said, there is a contest in there at the moment. There will be a link to the NBA description, the server in the description of these, so jump on over. So yeah, there is the UDUs in there. The public will have access to the UDU info and announcements and a public chat. These other ones is for UDU team members only. They'll be closed. MVE's in there, of course, and Samurai Aquatics, Morecheese, Pixel Palace, D-Tech's Workshop, Mid-Tenterers, and whatever else we have got going on. And then
looking gifts. I said I was really hungry, and then look what Laban posts. Wow, look at those French fries. Oh my god. You bastard.
Yes.
Oh my god.
So yes, we do have a merch thing there. I will move that merch up into the main NBA. I just waiting. Did you do that clickety clacking? I asked to put D-Tech's name in that thing.
Where?
I'll remind you afterwards.
Oh yeah, I did.
Okay. So I'll get that fixed up today. So the merch won't be in other. It'll have promo place because we know a bunch of people have asked, or how do I get a shirt like that or whatever? It'll be up here in NBA. So, and there will be Cheese and I will be working on more opportunities for different merch lines and that coming up too. So keep your eyes out for that. But yeah, basically 5 servers all in one.
There you go.
On that note, that's all I've got. And somehow we managed to rant and rave for almost another 2 hours again.
I know. We can't help
Crazy.
it.
I keep thinking we're going to have a short show.
It'd be 1 hour. And then it's like,
Yeah.
we probably, if we had all the time in the world, we'd probably do this for 5 hours.
Yes. Well, how are you going? I've just sent you some Summer Aquatics and Decor funds. You're not going to blow that. You need to put that away in the piggy bank for Tokyo or totems and protems or whatever.
No, I've been doing good. I think I have like 400K now because 407K because I get about 20,000 a day from visitor fees and dividends. So it's adding up and I'm not going to touch it. I promise.
Yeah, so I got to grind my way back to 4 million. If I get to 4 million, I think I've got 5 more days left in my little savings challenge. So once I get to that, I'll be happy.
And I have been selling a few things for fiat, getting closer to the Spark. I can probably now buy half a Spark very easily. So I'm hoping not by this Spark week, but next Spark week I will be able to get one whole Spark.
Nice. And I haven't followed through to ask. I guess I gotta ask Jen or somebody official, what is the actual deal with factory applications? Is it true that you have to have that Spark unstaked for the entirety of your application process? That just seems bonkers to me.
That is bonkers.
But who knows? All right. Well, that's all I've got this week. I hope you enjoyed that little bit of a Back to the Future glimpse into the past. Like I said, yeah, just for shits and giggles, go and have a look, scroll back, and it's always good to have a dose of reality. There's a lot of fun, this, that, and about in the community, but look how far we've come. Look how much actually has been, put forward and come through. Did we want to put it out there, the update we got from AA, or are we going to keep that under wraps for the time being?
Let's keep it under wraps for the time being. It's positive, but I want, I don't want to jinx anything.
Yes. All right. And if anybody thinks we're Upland bootlickers for putting that content out like that, you are just out of your goddamn mind. Somebody from the community reached out to me and said, hey, this player's having a problem. Is there a way that you can help? So we helped. No.
Yeah, and there's information that we have that a lot of people don't have because we spent hours talking with AA and we know more than you know. And if you're not helping, you're hurting. And why would you want to hurt?
Yes, there's always 3 sides to every story. There's one person's side, there's the other person's side, and the truth is somewhere thereabouts in the middle. So yeah, there's always more to the story. I think I will again. I'll reiterate that thank you to Angry Ursa who brought that issue to my attention, and thank you to you for all of the effort you put in with AA to talk through all the history, as you said, and get to the crux of what's going on and whatnot. And most of all, thanks to AA for being willing to come on a platform and put it out there. And I guess that thanks must also extend to X1 who reached out both on Twitter and Upland to say, this is something, and Lisette to say this is something that's on our radar. So
I was in talks with Lisette since AA came to us and we all started talking. So she gets big up props as well.
And there was some implications in the comments or that Upland's only looking at it now because you've put them on blast. We didn't put anybody on blast. We simply helped out a community member to get their concerns, their frustrations out. And that we said, what are you gonna put everybody's problems out there? Well, if you have a problem, reach out to us. We're more than willing. We've got 2 shows where we go out of our way to showcase.
I will not go out of my way for anyone who called me an idiot or said fuck me. So yeah, you can do that on your own.
Of course there's levels.
There will be no love for anyone who makes personal attacks towards anyone. So AA was nice. He didn't make any personal attacks. He's a very sensitive soul and he's very talented. He has a lot of skills. I want to see him, thrive. So
I mean, it's not gonna be basic crap. Like if that was a very serious glitch, that's why we highlighted it. It's not going to be like, I accidentally sold my property, can you help me get it back? No. That's something you got to work with. yeah, there are levels to this. So yeah,
Yeah.
and I think it speaks to probably something that Shaq always talks about, like community building, building bridges, and this, that, and the other thing. I did have a look through our DM list and a few different things, and AA and I have not a bad history, but there is some complex aspects to our history together. So, but we're willing to go out of our way to help people in the community. As I said, if you want to call us bootlickers for that, well, go for it. Have fun. What are you doing?
What are
you doing?
That's perfect.
Yeah.
And then you do absolutely nothing.
Yes. On that note, take a good long hard look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what am I actually doing to help people? So yeah. All right. Before I rant and rave any more, Cheese, I think it's time to push that button.
All right, stay fresh, cheese bags.
Go ahead, get your pinky up. Talk wine and cheese, motherfucker. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Talk wine and cheese, motherfucker. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Eagle Empire, samurai, riding on the dingo, flying through the sky. Cheese in the house, get off your ride. Hit you with the hairbrush, hit you with the knife. Eagle Empire, samurai, riding on the dingo, flying through the sky. Hit you with the knife, flying through the sky. Eagle Empire, samurai, riding on the dingo, flying through the sky. Cheese in the house, get off the ride. Hit you with the hairbrush, hit you with the knife. Eagle Empire, samurai, riding on the dingo, flying through the sky. Hit you with the knife, flying through the sky. Time for wine and cheese. Wine and cheese. 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 Time for wine and cheese.
Are you looking for some of that quality outdoor decor? But you got no freaking idea where to go? Oh, come on over to Samurai Aquatics and Decor for all your outdoor decor needs. Got yourself an empty plot of boring virtual real estate in the metaverse, do you? Yeah, just delete that. I'm still not ready, sorry. Got yourself an empty plot of boring virtual real estate in the metaverse, do you? Or maybe some kind of crappy ramshackle building that, I don't know, needs a bit of extra spunk to it or something. And stop mucking about and get yourself over to Samurai Aquatics Discord to see all our available stock. We've got loads of different decor to spend your pretend money on. We got saunas to fire you up, and ice baths to chew you the fudge out. Literally stock coming out of our ears. Grills, swings, seating, and more. So much more. And if we don't got it, give us a buzz, and we could probably make it. Get yourself on over to Samurai Aquatics at 30 Aqua Vista Way in Midtown Terrace, San Francisco, lickety split, and gorge yourself on outdoor decor.